You might just be feeling like you're having a moment of deja vu, right? This is of course similar to how we started the last episode over here at the Scaffolding mob farm, which we're going to make modifications to. So let's jump right into this. So first of all, we want to disable the farm, and we're going to do that using sunlight, which goes through the scaffolding down to all of the floors. And then, believe it or not, we're going to rip out this middle section right here. And the scaffolding isn't going to be broken because it's actually all reliant on the trapdoors here on either side. So because of the sunlight, no mobs have spawned, and I'm now actually underneath the farm and you can see that it's all intact. What we do next is now go all the way back up with the scaffolding to the top. So then I place an observer facing downwards and a dispenser facing downwards, and then myself I have to descend down a floor. So we've got to rip out this scaffolding and do the same thing again. The observer is now going to be at this height here with the dispenser below it. So you might have sussed out exactly what we're doing here now. We're flipping the direction of the observers so that the redstone signal can come from the top of the farm down to the bottom. The next thing I got to do is put scaffolding below the dispenser and then fill the dispenser up with water buckets. But if I do this from the bottom floor where I'm currently at, we're going to run into some issues with the redstone. So it's going to be a bit of a pain moving down the floors one by one, and when I put the scaffolding here, it also now activates the trapdoors, which doesn't break the platforms. Thank goodness for that. And then to drop down, oh, it's actually not that difficult. Excellent. So I'm just going to go down one level at a time like this. So all of these floors are now covered. And now we've got to get a signal from there all the way up to the AFK platform where the clock and the on-off switch will be. And the trick we're going to use to send a signal from up above down below is using stone brick walls. And I don't want to accidentally set this thing off, so we're going to go across like this. And now watch what happens when I put a block on top of that one there. Its hitbox changes, and it does when I remove it as well. So if this thing goes all the way up to there, we can move a block on and off with a piston, and then that will send a signal down to this observer because it changes the size of the block, which the observer is able to detect. So I have rebuilt our clock fit for purpose. The spot where the player stands has the lever on, which will actually stop any mob from spawning in that block, although this is where the player is, so that's not an issue. And when this here gets powered or unpowered, the state of that down below changes. Okay, and let's just try and grab that in action. Yep, there you go, you saw it change. And here it goes, it changes again. The bigger question though is, did that actually work? And I think the answer is clearly yes. The timing is correct and the mob farm is working again, but now we're powering it from all the way up there in the sky. So what's next for this farm, eh? The collection area? It's a bit temporary at the moment. And most importantly, it doesn't actually pick up all of the drops. So I've been working on an alternate rail layout where this could be rotated 90 degrees, and so we could have 4 sections like this, which means 4 minecart hoppers collecting all of the items. But you know me, I want to have fun with the redstone and find interesting ways to collect the items, and it occurred to me that flying machines could push the items on the ground. Let's actually just throw a few down here so you can sort of visually see that, and push them across to a collection area. And after figuring out all of the redstone and getting ready to go ahead, I then realised that mobs could fall down and land on the slime blocks. And of course, both slime and honey blocks prevent them from taking full damage, so this is a no-go. But the need for all of this pretty terracotta had me thinking about another project, our community smeltery, which we haven't got up and running yet. If I did actually need all of this terracotta, then that smeltery would come in extremely handy. So to bring you up to speed, we have the kelp tank down below, and up above is where the water pushes out all of the kelp to the side, and our minecart rails will help some minecart hoppers pick it up. Then these minecart tracks are going to lead across to this building, and that is where the community smeltery will be available for everyone to use. So down at the bottom of this tower now, we have some storage for some other farms I'm going to hook up so that people can come in and take some sugarcane and bamboo. And if we head up top, we have a little room put together, and this is where people can come along and use the kelp to smelt items. And it's above here that we've got to build a redstone contraption to send across minecarts to pick up all of the kelp and then bring them back and unload them. And you can see I've started work on that already, but there is a long ways to go. So the idea is that we're going to have 6 hopper minecarts sitting on top of these hoppers. They will unload the kelp into the chests that go down into the furnaces below. And then of course we need to send them out one by one and bring them back again. So at the back here we have a comparator decay circuit where we have a series of them controlling these redstone torches. So when I activate the circuit, they're going to turn on one by one. Alright, the button can't be directly on it because then it also powers the block below, which is a dropper facing upwards. There you go. So that would send this minecart hopper away, and then we just need a little bit of time so that they don't get grouped up. So this creates some delay and they all go out one by one. And credit where credit is due. Shout out to Spooky Dokie, one of my moderators, who came up with this fantastic little redstone circuit here, because this wasn't my original design for this. So this is my original design, and it's probably a little easier to understand because you've got an EFO hopper clock that creates a periodic pulse to unlock all of this redstone for just a moment, and that means that the items will pass in a loop through the hoppers one by one and then make their way back to the beginning. And in a Minecraft world, the less hoppers the better. Using comparators and redstone will be better for the performance of the server. And I guess while we're here, we might as well have a look at the second part of the system that I'm yet to build. When the minecart hoppers come back in with all of their items, they need to get back to these unloading points one by one. So we've got a bunch of T flip-flops up the top here. So when one of these comes in, well, it just did something really strange, didn't it? This was all fully tested in 1.18.1, and now we're in 1.18.2. Did that break it? Also, what's going on with this? Well, I'm just praying that this is something wrong with my creative server, so let's hop onto Hermitcraft and see how it behaves on there. Well, this thing was tested, but after looking at it a little closer, I can kind of see why it failed. It was because of the detector rail being so close to the piston above it and the rail here. So as the minecart comes through, it's still on this rail when it activates the detector rail. So that would push this across to change the state of that rail, but also it's directly next to it. So by adding a little space like this, it just means the minecart hopper is actually in this area before our T flip-flop gets activated to change the state of the rail. The reason we do that is so that the next one that goes through doesn't end up on top of the previous one. So let's go ahead and see that in action. And it does that weird thing where it appears to be down below for a moment. So remember, we send all of these out with a delay. And why did that not work? Oh no, there's some sort of directional bias for the state of this. And when I built it in the test world, it must have been rotated differently? Ah. So I may or may not have spent the last half hour working on a solution for this, to then realise it's incredibly simple. You just move the redstone block over by one, and then this piston has to be pushed back too. So remember, the minecart hoppers go out on a delay, so they come back in one by one on a delay too, and now you'll see it in action. They are clearly getting separated into their little unloading stations. And that is just wonderful. And do you know what else is wonderful? A finished project, because yes, it's now all working and finished. I also believe there may have been some prankage while I was working on the redstone here, but as we fly through, it gives me an opportunity to almost show you the entrance. And so now for attempt number 2. Oh, we're coming in hot here. And as you can see, the area's been filled over, and now we have a community smeltery here, and it's pretty stocked up with some dried kelp. We obviously want to have a lot more than this though. And the dealio is, of course, that dried kelp is getting smelted as it comes into here, so we do have to manually craft up the fuel and then put it back in. But of course, we want to see this thing in action, and I've made some modifications down here. I've decided to just have the flying machine go over the kelp part for now, to simplify it, so when activated and it arrives at the other side, it's going to send a signal over to this hopper clock. This is basically going to create a delay, and then after a short amount of time that creates a signal that travels all the way up to the redstone up above. And this is where the camera count comes in rather handy, as it goes all the way up through all of these blocks to this bit of redstone here, gets transferred around to this spot, and goes under here to activate the contraption we built a moment ago. So this is what it looks like when the minecarts get sent off to do their thing. They head out one by one, and then they get backed up a little bit in this area, but you can see they eventually make their way around the tracks and then head back into the loading station. And as they should do, they get sectioned off into each of their unloaders. Now let's see that again, but this time with kelp in the system, because I have noticed yet another issue with this farm. Maybe something that was introduced in 1.18.2. So, do you see it? Because I can certainly see it. Obviously not all of the kelp is getting picked up, but for some reason this stuff is lingering around here and it's not going up to the next block. I have absolutely no idea why some of these items are stopping before the top. That's not how they're supposed to behave. And oh my goodness me, this is like actually the bulk of all of the kelp that's getting caught on the sides here. Like tons of it is getting caught. Oh. You know what? I'm done with scratching my head over the various quirks in this game. This project, in my mind, is now complete. The community has a smeltery that they can use, and we built some fantastic looking builds along the way. Now let's turn our attention back to the redstone. We've just been doing loads of redstone, I know. But I've been tinkering a lot in between recording this episode, and an idea crossed my mind. 1.19 will be with us soon, and maybe rather than set up this rail system for our mob farm, we could use the allay to collect an item. Like we'd need like maybe 6 of them in the area, and they could pick up the mob drops, and that would be really cool to see. So we shall put those renovations on hold for now and work on the final farm that I need to make before we can really get into the weeds of our base. And you might recognize this behind me. It's a witch farm. And it is built around the bounding box of a witch hut. This is the space where witches will be able to spawn. And you can see what the change here is, right? We could use scaffolding again to stop the witches from pathfinding around and just push them off the platforms a little bit quicker. So I've been working on renovating an old design here. But there is another new addition in this game that could change the design of an old farm, and that is the honey block that can be used in flying machines and not connect to the slime blocks. And this means that our flying machine could actually take the shortest journey by having 2 of them, 1 on each side, meaning that the witches will be pushed down into the collection area quicker than before because of the layout of these flying machines. But you know me, I spend hours and hours working on these projects and then I discover a fatal flaw later on. So once I'd set up this clever arrangement that has the flying machine going back and forth and can be turned on and off with the lever, it was time to throw some witches into the farm. They get pushed down perfectly, don't they? However, they won't do by the honey blocks. Let's see this. Right, can you see how they're actually sticking to the honey blocks because they have a different hitbox size? And, I mean, eventually they get pushed off, but they end up hanging out on the ledge of the platform, which is not what we want. So I have fantastic news. I have engineered a solution, and it's really, really simple. Oh, get out of here, zombie. I'm trying to record. Can't you see that? But I'm going to need some time, my friends, to gather some resources like the tinted glass and the slime blocks, and I think we can put ourselves together a witch farm pretty quick. For now, though, I have some egg-related news regarding the Easter egg hunt. One being that I noticed there was an egg inside of this chest. I'm sure I would have checked a little gap like this. We knew all about this trick. Let's punch that out. That was impulses. Very well hidden, my friend. And over here we have the results of the hunt. Now, the way the scoring worked is it was how many of the eggs that you yourself hid. Remember, you saw me hide all of them in a previous episode. The ones with the most undiscovered would win. And there was a tiebreaker. Grian, myself, and Hypno, we all had 5 that couldn't be discovered. And so it was time for the golden Easter egg hunt to settle the score. And we actually settled this earlier on. So let's roll that footage. You got mini Grian on your head, I see.
Oh yeah, look, check.
Dang it, I feel like we should all have our mini selves.
It's only because I look like I got a man bun from behind.
Oh my god, that's so true.
That's awesome.
I've gathered you here today to get the results of the egg hunt finished and declare a winner.
You know, I was kind of happy just to split the prize, but apparently we gotta do more eggs.
Yep.
No.
I enjoyed egg hunting. I'm happy to hunt for some more.
Yeah. So
No sharing. No sharing allowed.
No sharing. So your goal today is to raid this woodland mansion. There are roughly two stacks of golden eggs, which I've thrown on the ground here.
Ooh.
No, you can't have it green. And so you will have 5 minutes to run through there and find as many eggs as you can.
Are we
Does
allowed to
that
break
seem-
blocks on our way? Are we allowed to?
No,
tear
no.
through-
You're not allowed
No.
to break
Oh, okay.
blocks.
So we've
Bad,
got to
bad.
find a
Can we
proper
break in?
entrance.
Can we break in to get in there?
There are doors right up there. You'll be fine.
Where are
It's just right literally in front of us.
Okay.
Is everybody good?
Apart
I
from not
hope
being
so.
able to see the door, but yeah, I'm good.
It's 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh,
All right, let's go.
begun.
Hey!
Okay, I found a door. I had an ender pearl ready. I came somewhat prepared, and Jevin has kind of hinted that these things are supposed to be quite common. I found one. We're gonna wait. That's against the rules. That's illegal. Hey, I want that. Okay, I'm gonna put that back. We won't. Oh, and another one. And another one. Okay, we really just got to look up, down, left, right, center. And there's one. Okay, these are going to be very easy to find, aren't they? Okay, one down here. One over there. Oh, I can hear someone else punching them off. So I saw one in this room. Okay, I think that one's gone, but there's one here. Okay, I've gone where no one else has gone, I believe. So we're off to an alright start. Hey, another one. And another one. Number 11. Oh, look at that. Well, I'm going to stay downstairs. There's a staircase behind me, but we're doing good on the ground floor. No one else came to the ground floor, did they? No one else came down here. I can see someone's on the floor above, so I think it makes a lot of sense to stay down on this ground and pick them all up down here. That looks like a sign that someone else may have been through this area already. I think I'm going to have to head upwards soon. Oh, there's also one up here. Okay, so that was the first floor. We heard lots of popping above us. I think we want to go straight up to the top floor at this point, and there's only 2 minutes left. Okay, finally found my way up to this floor. Let's just quickly check. Oh, look at me. I'm clever. I got one. And I got another one. Come on, that's mine. Has anyone been to the top floor then? Yeah, the top floor is looking absolutely raided. So I've got 24, unlikely to get any more. Oh, 1 minute remains and there's one here. And I can hear phantoms outside. Someone's having a bad time out there. And another one. And another one. And yet another one. Okay, I'm very glad I checked the cat. And let's go up here. This would be a really good spot to hide one, wouldn't it? 15 seconds. I am going back on myself. I think 28 is my score. Very unlikely I'll find another one now.
All right. So, final egg counts, guys.
I
Let's see
don't
'em.
want to brag, but I think I've done quite well.
You think
Yeah,
so?
you go first
Yeah,
then.
I think so. No, I'll go last.
Alright, okay.
All right. You guys
got,
gonna
200.
throw me 200. Oh wow, that's quite
That's
a bit.
pretty
for
good,
How many?
Yeah.
Isn't that more than Jevin put in
More than what was in the game.
I got 28.
28. Okay,
that
very
good?
very fair. Okay, what'd you get, Hibdo?
I ended up with a total of 30.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
Agreeing?
And I got a total of 50 eggs.
Wow.
Oh my God.
50 eggs.
That's mental.
Dang.
You know what's crazy? When I was watching you, Green, I saw you miss multiple eggs too. So
Doesn't matter. Speed is key. Speed
speed is key. All right. Well, congratulations, Green. You are
Yeah,
the
congrats,
winner
dude. Oops.
of 19 diamond blocks and
Wow.
4 netherite ingots. So
All right, come
that's
here,
all right,
fellas.
my dude.
Come here, fellas. No. I wanted to share this from the start, so
Uh-huh.
here we go. How do I split this 3 ways?
Splitsies.
One for you.
Oh, thank you
One
very
for
much.
you.
How generous of you.
Are
Oh,
you
wow.
keeping the netherite?
Yeah. One,
He's like, yeah, that's mine. That's mine.
2. And I'll keep the 2. So there's
Okay.
2 for me and 1 each for you.
Wow.
Oh, that's
very
awesome.
generous. Thank
Well,
you.
I
Yeah, thanks,
appreciate the
dude.
time today, guys. I had a great time with this event. And maybe next year we'll do another one. Who knows?
That Grian, hey? What a generous guy, sharing the winnings with all of us. I'm now not as broke as I was before. Look at that, over a stack of diamonds. And I got myself a netherite axe upgrade. I'm going to have to do a lot of tree chopping if we're going to make a whole bunch of chests and hoppers to store all the items that we're going to get from our witch farm. Now, not all creativity in this game takes the form of building. Beef was asking me where I'd hid the Easter egg. He's still looking for the ones he couldn't find. So I thought I would leave him a clue. Don't be sheepish. Sheerishly, I will not allow you to give up. And if you needed a little memory jogging, I hid it right down here, look. Right in that sheep's butt. Well, look at this. My tools are a wreck. What on earth have I been up to? I've got terrain blocks in my inventory. I guess one day we'll level the entirety of this area, won't we? For now, though, I've leveled a portion of it below our mob farm, and I love how this thing is just suspended in the sky. So earlier I had mentioned that we could use the LA in 1.19, and I kind of realized we'd need a few of them because there's quite a few items to get picked up, but also you wouldn't even see them in action, right? So down the bottom here, I have teared out all of the terrain and built a collection system similar to what you saw earlier on in the video with the rails underneath. And yes, this is glow lichen. So normally what you would probably do is use half slabs as the platform, as nothing can spawn on them. But I thought, why don't we just put glow lichen on top of the deep slate here? It looks kind of creepy, and this is where all the mobs are going to land. And aesthetically, I'm not done just yet. I do actually want to put some finishing touches on this thing here, so it isn't just suspended above the water. Yeah, something like that. Looking very alien. Very, very alien, might I say. And the rest of this island, that's got to get cleared too. And we're going to build more farms around here. Like, we're going to farm the pillagers from this pillager outpost. So I'll probably have something complementing to this for the farm design that I'm working for these pillagers. And they're coming after me again. So there's really nothing but fun times ahead for this area. And then next episode we'll be working on our witch farm. And once that's done, we'll be getting to our base. And it's so close, I'm so excited, but I need to go AFK at this farm now because I need to collect tons and tons of bones, as I've been hinting at. So I'm going to flick the switch, we're going to wrap it up here. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the episode. As always, peeps, thank you for your support on this series, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye-bye.